So, you had an army that was double the size of your enemy, right?
Right.
They were exhausted after 5 days of fighting in Milan, right?
Right.
And their general was 82 years old, while you are 50, right?
Right.
So you won that war, right?
In 1848, Italy looked like this. The south belonged to the House of Bourbon, the center to the Papal States, the northeast to the Austrian Empire, and then there were also other kingdoms or duchies, such as Parma, Modena, Tuscany and the Kingdom of Piedmont-Sardinia. The First War of Independence was between the Kingdom of Piedmont-Sardinia against the Austrian Empire, in order to conquer the Lombardy and Venetian regions. In the year 1848, there were rebellions in all parts of Europe. People demand more freedom and more rights against the absolute monarchies. The first revolution started in Sicily on the 29th of January. The King of Naples, Ferdinand II, is forced to concede the constitution.
I am the king. I rule by the will of God. No. We have constitution. You also have to obey the law.
In February, another revolution started in the country that is specialized in revolutions, France. The French did things seriously, deposing the monarchy of Louis Philippe I, and creating the Republic. The King of Piedmont-Sardinia at that time was Carlo Alberto from the House of Savoy.
Sire, the King of Naples gave the constitution to the people. In France, there is a revolution at the moment. We have to do something. Can you give the constitution as well?
Fine. Here's your constitution. No, wait. I changed my mind.
What?
Constitution is a communist word.
So what?
Let's call it Statuto Albertino.
Meanwhile, the revolution also started in Vienna, the heart of the Austrian Empire.
Why are they making noise?
Emperor, the students are revolting.
Are they allowed to do that?
They want a parliament, free elections, free press and a constitution.
And they want him to resign.
The Emperor of Austria conceded the requests. Instantly, many other revolutions started in all the regions of the Austrian Empire. On the 15th of March, in Budapest, people claimed the independence of Hungary. On the 17th of March, in Venice, people claimed the Republic of San Marco. The day after, the 18th of March, a revolt started in Milan as well.
And you, what the hell do you claim?
We want the autonomy of Lombardy.
And all the Austrian troops should be removed.
The Austrian commander of the army in Milan was Joseph Radezky, who refused these demands. On the 19th of March, Radezky reports to Vienna.
The city of Milan is devastated from the ground up. It's impossible to imagine. The behavior of these people changed as if touched by a magic stick. Fanaticism has pervaded every age, every class, every sex.
At that time Milan had a population of 160,000 people, which was against 14,000 Austrian soldiers. For 5 days, Milanese civilians used to make barricades in the streets, stab and kill Austrian soldiers who responded by shooting the rebels. In the end, about 100 Milanese died, while the Austrians lost about 4,000 soldiers. After 5 days, Radezky realizes that he has to leave Milan. He will write to Vienna.
This is the most difficult decision of my life. I can't hold Milan any longer. All the cities in Lombardy are rising and killing Austrian soldiers. They can destroy all the bridges behind me.
In Milan, a provisional government was established, led by Carlo Cattaneo.
Hey, I have received a secret message from some Austrian officials. If we pay, they will give Radezky to us.
The provisional government discussed this proposition. Carlo Cattaneo is the only one who's in favor of this option. However, the provisional government decided against it.
We have integrity. This is not perfect. Here. Take it. Take Carlo. We are gentlemen, we don't do such things. We'll get Radezky anyway.
In the meantime, in Piedmont, Carlo Alberto.
Sire, Radezky and his army left Milan, and there are revolts everywhere in the Austrian Empire. This is the best time to attack.
The Austrian army is 7 times bigger than ours, but they are busy dealing with revolts everywhere in the empire. Prepare my horse. We declare war.
The news spread fast across Italy, and all the other kingdoms. Duchies sent troops as well, because this was felt like an Italian war, against a foreign invader.
Sire, great news. The King of Naples sent troops to help us, as well as the Papal States and the Grand Duchy of Tuscany.
Wonderful.
There are also tons of volunteers from all over Italy. They are asking if we can give them some weapons.
Wait, what? There's no way I'm going to give weapons to communist civilians. They can start a revolution, and even make a republic.
The enthusiasm for a new nation, Italy, was incredibly strong among the people. This was partially against the values of the House of Savoy, which were definitely in favor of the absolute monarchy. In the 1800s, not all men were forced to do military service. There were countries like Austria which selected a fewer number of soldiers, but they had 8 years of intensive military training. Whereas, in other areas, like the Kingdom of Piedmont under Carlo Alberto, the soldiers had only 1 year of military training, but the numbers were more in percentage. Carlo Cattaneo will write,
From Piedmont, they sent people just detached from the plows and looms, badly trained in arms, and rusty from long leave.
Another issue of Carlo Alberto's army was the lack of officials. This is because the officials at that time were from noble families, and there weren't many in Piedmont. Imagine these huge battalions of men that don't know what to do, and have just a few officials explaining tactics. Who's in charge of these two armies? On one side we have Carlo Alberto, 50 years old. He grew up under Napoleon, when Piedmont was annexed to France. He studied in Paris and was a tenant of Napoleon's army. So he had a bit of military experience, but he never commanded an army. He had no idea about what to do. On the other side, however, there is someone who knows how to do a war, Radezky. Or better, Johann Joseph Wenzel Anton Franz Karl Graf Radezky von Rades. He is 82 years old. Radezky was already a general in the Napoleonic era. He fought in Austerlitz, already commanding an army. He's a bit old, but he still remembers how to fight. On the 23rd of March, the war started. Radezky's army is tired. It left Milan after 5 days of fighting in the streets. He went towards the Quadrilateral, which is a secure area between 4 fortified cities, Peschiera, Verona, Legnano, and Mantova. The Quadrilateral is protected from the north by the Lake of Garda, and from the south by the River Po. Carlo Alberto declared war, but he hasn't moved at all yet.
Sire, it's been 3 days already. The people from Milan are waiting for us.
Fine, just send the General Passalacqua.
You mean the general and his army?
No, only the general, by himself. Let's see how the situation is.
On the 25th of March General Passalacqua wrote from Milan.
His Majesty, believe me, if we want to reach something honorable, it is necessary that your army should come here, and search for the enemy.
It's time. Let the war begin.
Will Carlo Alberto be able to win the war and conquer Lombardy and the Venetian region? Check out the next video, stay tuned.